So there is a storm brewing in the social media streets. It's a downpour. And on one side of the storm, you got Steven Jackson and Matt Barnes. On the other side of the storm, you have Kwame Brown. Now, a lot of people are going to be listening to this video going, who in the heck is Kwame Brown? All right, allow a brother to explain. Kwame Brown was the number one pick for the Washington Wizards. He was a lot of high school kids that went straight to the NBA. He had that type of talent and capability. And every time someone would talk about Kwame Brown, it was what could have been, okay? What Kwame Brown could become, all right? Kwame Brown lasted in the NBA for 12 years. He played alongside Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, a lot of famous and iconic players Kwame Brown has played with and against. Kwame Brown is not known because he was drafted to the Washington Wizards and played in the NBA. Kwame Brown is his biggest claim to fame is he was the go-to running joke, the running punchline for people like Stephen A. Smith, Skip Bayless. A lot of media members would troll Kwame Brown. If you want a lot of attention, if you want a lot of fans, if you want a lot of views, a lot of clicks, a lot of clouts, all you have to do is just joke about Kwame Brown. People literally took Kwame Brown's life as a running punchline, a running theme, a running joke, because people were trolling Kwame Brown. Me personally, what I have taken from Kwame Brown, all right, I felt like Kwame Brown was a very shy individual. And I feel like when you're shy, when you get to the biggest stages of all biggest stages, when the lights are bright at the most, I feel like that spotlight changes people. Some people will blossom through the spotlight, okay? And other people would shy away from it. And I feel like Kwame Brown just shied away from it. I don't think Kwame Brown was a bad player. I just think the biggest obstacle of Kwame Brown was not his basketball play, and not because people were joking and trolling him. It's the fact that I feel like he was so shy, the spotlight didn't get the best out of him. It got the worst out of him. I felt like if Kwame Brown had a psychiatrist, a full-time psychiatrist around him 24/7, Kwame Brown could have been what we thought he could have been. But in that era, people use psychiatry as you're crazy, okay? You're stupid. You know, people didn't appreciate people evaluating and aware of their self-health, okay? Now, if you talk about now, when people, deal with their self-health, their emotions, they want to speak to a psychiatrist, it's the in thing. It's the cool thing to do. It's the responsible thing to do. But back in that era, a lot of people view that as a weakness. And if you played in the NBA on that level, and if your if people who played for and against you found out that you were speaking to a psychiatrist, that would have been a career killer at that time. So Stephen A. Smith, Skip Bayless, Michael Wilbon, all of them would joke about Kwame Brown. Hell, even Jemele Hill joked about Kwame Brown before she became the person that she is today. She used to be in them same streets clowning and degrading Kwame Brown, okay? Some people could handle it, and some people can't. Some people can blossom from it, and some people can't. And I feel like Kwame Brown was the individual that was his biggest obstacle that was in his way. He never went to reporters or went to social media and made excuses about his problem. He never went after people who mocked him, who disrespected him, who joked on him. He just went through his days just dealing with it. And I feel like that's the most incredible thing about him that a lot of people don't talk about. The man could take the hits from all over, and he just did not quit. The man lasted 12 years, but all of a sudden he's a bust. Okay, a lot of people I feel like the bust word is just a popular word. Like a lot of people want to use, like, expose. I just exposed somebody. I just feel like it's just a word that really has no relevance, or it really doesn't mean anything. It's just a clout chasing word. It's just a word where you're going to get, you're going to get respect from in the social media streets or whatever, or troll land or whatever. And Kwame Brown handled those fires, and he didn't go off on the deep end because of those fires. So fast forward into 2021. Kwame Brown is just chilling, cooling. He done, no one is talking about Kwame Brown or disrespecting Kwame Brown. And Steven Jackson and Matt Barnes made the worst mistake that in social media that you can ever make. They created and started and woken and awakened a sleeping giant. It started on their podcast. I believe their podcast is labeled Up in Smoke. And they talked about, they shared stories and talked about Kwame Brown. Oh, he's a buzz. He's this, a lot of stuff that we have already done heard. And, I guess Steven Jackson and Matt Barnes want to get their clouts up. They want to get their clicks up. They want to get their views up. So let's just throw in some insults about Kwame Brown. Let's just disrespect Kwame Brown. Let's shake the grave of Kwame Brown. All right? Let's wake up and disturb the sleeping giant of Kwame Brown. When this got to Kwame Brown, I felt like this moment right here is where Kwame Brown had, I've been taking arrows and slingshots from all over, from all sides for years and decades. And I felt like Kwame Brown had a moment where he's not tolerating it no more. He's going to stand up for himself. And he basically raised chaos on Steven Jackson and Matt Barnes. He started talking about their professional lives in the NBA arena, started talking about their personal lives, their issues with females, joining gangs. He was going in. He was full in carry mode on Steven Jackson and Matt Barnes. I know a lot of people are going to disagree with what I'm going to say, but I'm just calling it for what it is. Because this next part is going to co-sign and concur what I have been saying for the past couple of minutes. So instead of just, taking the high road, because look, you got a podcast, you're on ESPN, Fox, you don't really have to play in the mud with Kwame Brown. Who in the heck is Kwame Brown? He doesn't even have a huge social media following. Nobody's not paying attention to him. Just go ahead, let him say what he had to say about us, and let's keep it moving, keep it pushing, keep chasing this bag. And I feel like at this point in time, they got way too emotional, way too sensitive, because it's funny, men get extremely emotional and sensitive when the truth hurts. And apparently a lot of stuff Kwame Brown said about these two individuals, it hurt their feelings. Okay. He also went ham on Stephen A. Smith. All right. So Steven Jackson did an Instagram live, and at first I thought he was going to take the high road, but just before he ended it, he pretty much agreed with Kwame Brown when Kwame Brown said, about the things about Steven Jackson. He could have easily just don't pay attention to it. Just keep it moving, keep it pushing. But he co-signed to everything Kwame Brown said negatively about him. Where people can say, well, Kwame Brown probably just said all that because, he's a hater. He's mad. That's another key word a lot of people say. He's a hater. He's mad. He doesn't know what he's talking about. But he co-signed to everything Kwame Brown said about him. And then he tried to use that as a shield or a weapon on why he is right. All right? Same thing goes for Matt Barnes. He did an Instagram live too. You would think Kwame Brown would just let it be. But, that's what happens when you wake up a sleeping giant. Kwame Brown has risen like Phoenix from the ashes of social media. Everybody is following Kwame Brown. Kwame Brown didn't even have a lot of followers on his Instagram live. Now he has tons of them because people want to follow and hear what he's got to say. And he laid havoc on Matt Barnes and Steven Jackson. I don't want to go into all of it because I don't want to make this video extremely long. That what it's going to be anyway, because this video is going to be long regardless. So when that got back to Steven Jackson and Matt Barnes, you would think that, cooler heads prevail. Look, we're trying to get this money. We're trying to make this money. Let's just go ahead and move on and talk about the next topic. Stephen A. Smith hasn't said peep about Kwame Brown. All right? Because Stephen A. Smith knows that if I say something about Kwame Brown, he's going to use it as fuel. He's going to gaslight it. He's going to greenlit it. And that's even more views and followers that Kwame Brown is going to have. So I'm not going to create a full-blown monster that's already, got a voice, got a word, got an opinion on social media. I'm not co-signing to this. I'm out. Not Steven Jackson and not Matt Barnes. Matt Barnes, the latest video that Matt Barnes is saying, they went from arguing their disagreements and their points to now he wants to challenge him in a boxing match. The most juvenile thing you can say or do is want to fight an individual. When a person beats you mentally, beats you subconsciously, now all of a sudden you want to throw them hands up. All right? And then Kwame Brown said, look, I'm not, fighting because you have a disagreement and you can't come back. Okay? You just thought I was just going to lay hiding in the weeds while you guys just disrespect me and I don't say this. I don't say nothing. Well, it's a new day and it's a new Kwame Brown. All right? Steven Jackson wanted him to come to the podcast. All right? Which I would, if he would have accepted, I apologize for the noise in the background. If he would have accepted it, then I would have said, Kwame Brown, you're clout chasing right now, my guy. You're clout chasing. Instead, Kwame Brown said, look, when I wanted to go on your podcast and I was a nobody in these social media streets, you didn't want to have nothing to do with me. Now, when I get clout, attention, people are following me. They're checking out what I'm saying. Okay, when you're successful, when you're popular, is when people on YouTube comment and they make and they record your content and play your content on their channels. That's when when you're popular. That's when you are A1. Okay? And that's what's going on with Kwame Brown. Kwame Brown has taken to social media and he is on fire right now. He is lightning red hot. And he's so lightning red hot, he done moved past Steven Jackson and Matt Barnes. Thank you very much for giving him this attention and clout, by the way. Now he done set his sights on other individuals. Michael Wilbon, Jamel Hill, Charlemagne the God, DJ Envy, okay? Anybody that wants smoke, he is going to give it to you. And all you guys are doing is gaslighting and green lighting this guy to become more and more popular. That's all you guys are doing, okay? And I'm not even hating it. I'm not even hating my guy, okay? Y'all been talking about this man for decades. You should have left a sleeping giant. Just let him lie and sleep. Instead, you guys wanted to get a little views, a little attention, a little traction. So you thought, hey, let's do a Kwame Brown joke. Let's tell a Kwame Brown story that we know that's going to be funny. And now he's using your words against you. So I don't think it's over with Kwame Brown, and he does have a message to the madness. Okay, he's basically saying, quote, a lot of you guys, a lot of your favorite black journalist guys get rich, get popular, get on and popping by discrediting another black individual. Okay? You assassinate a black individual's character and challenge their manhood. That's how a lot of these guys get their clout. That's how a lot of these guys get popping in the social media streets and in these media circles. Okay? All right? And he does have a point. Okay? You don't see, and I hate to make it a race issue, but it is. You don't see white males discrediting and disrespecting other white males. Now, they may have a difference of opinion, okay, but you don't see a journalist talk about a politician and before they talk about the issues that they have, they just totally discredit that individual, their life, what school they went to, and this, that, and the third. And we have a huge problem. I mean, we have a huge problem. We love to discredit, discount, disrespect black men for the cost of getting our clout up, getting our views up, getting our money up, getting our coins up. All right. And we would do it in a disrespectful state of mind, and we just totally violate them. All right. And he does have a point on a lot. I'm not saying it happens all the time, but it does happen a lot. It particularly happened a lot on ESPN when they had First Take, when it was Stephen A. Smith and Skip Bayless. And that's why Jalen Rose took issue with Skip Bayless. And Skip Bayless would, call Chris Bosh Spice and all this stuff, just disrespecting their manhood, okay? And Skip Bayless had to take a seat back and check himself and he's no longer doing it no more, all right? He does have those corny nicknames for players, but he don't disrespect them like he used to back on First Take, because Jalen Rose had to check him. Like, yo, how you going to talk about how bad an individual is and then disrespect their character, assassinate their character, and assassinate their name, disrespect their name, their family name, and, you was terrible at basketball. Your skills got you nowhere in basketball. But now all of a sudden look, you can critique someone's talent and their basketball play and their basketball decision. I'm not saying that you can't do that, but what you can do is take it to an immature level where you start disrespecting the man's name, his family name. That's somebody's son. That's somebody's. He has a mother. That individual has a father. All right, and sometimes they take it a little bit too far. They used to do it. They used to take it extremely far, And ESPN, the big wigs in ESPN, the people in the studio is just green lighting this, saying, yeah, call him Bosch Spice, okay? But they're trying to be famous off of disrespecting people. Look, you can talk bad about someone's play. You can talk about what could have been, but sometimes sometimes it goes extremely too far. And I guess Matt Barnes and Steven Jackson thought today would have been that day to disrespect Kwame Brown. Let's just disrespect Kwame Brown, but not today. Kwame Brown spoke his mind. He stood up for himself, okay? And I feel like everyone should stand up for themselves, okay? Because if you don't, nobody else is going. No one else will. So that's all I got for this video. Comment down below. I'm up out of here, deuces.